It is the last Monday of 2020, and we wanted to jump on first and say hello. Hello. And that I made a post about 2 weeks ago that got a lot of traction, and we wanted to jump on real quick and respond to a few of them. So the post that we actually made was, if you could pick one food to be calorie free for the rest of your life, what would it be? So we got a lot of great responses. We're going to pick a few today. So Judy says burgers. Now, Tara, what would you do in a situation when someone says burgers? How would you make those healthy?
We make burgers pretty frequently, actually. That's a pretty common part of our weekly meals. And we do a lot of different things with them to keep it interesting. But one of the things we always start with is the leanest ground beef. And that's probably the main takeaway. Use the leanest ground beef. If you want to kind of spice it up, you can put like grilled onions in it, onion soup mix, all sorts of different stuff to make it more juicy. But you'd go with the leanest ground beef. You can even mix it with leanest ground turkey and to get it leaner and lower fat.
And you could do lettuce wraps as well if you want to limit on the carbs, or you could do low carb buns. There's a lot of different options there. Another thing too is if you could actually supplement the french fries for broccoli or any kind of vegetable that you want. And this way, you're not going to feel the so-called guilt that you might feel if you have if you have a greasy hamburger with cheese and French fries. It just sits in your gut after, and you're not feeling very great. So that's a good option. You do the lettuce wrap, do the leanest ground turkey, leanest ground beef, whatever you want. Or for the vegans, you can do vegan burgers or vegetarian burgers, whatever you wish. And moving on, we have someone who says pizza. That is Sarah Keen says pizza. First she said beer, and then she switched it to pizza. So I know personally when it comes to pizza, when I was competing, it was something that I really didn't want to give up. So we found a healthier option, and it was a cauliflower crust pizza. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of the cauliflower crust pizza, personally, I found were pretty gross. But we did find a brand that I liked a lot, and it was called Cauli-Power. Now, when I was eating the cauliflower, I would get the three cheeses. They have different flavors, they have different types. When I really wanted that protein, I would get as a side, I would buy the leanest turkey pepperoni, and I would throw those onto, and I would then cut up vegetables, throw that onto the pizza. And because I'm a bit bigger of a guy, I had the calories in at night, and I could eat the whole pizza guilt-free, no problem. Now, moving on, we got a few people saying Mexican food or tacos. And I think that took Tara and I both by a little bit of surprise, because we eat that a lot, and we have many special ways that we can do it. So I'll let Tara take it away on this one.
Yeah, so with both the tacos and the burgers, really going for the leanest like meat that you can find. You can dress it up all kinds of ways, but if you start out with lean meat, that's going to automatically save you a lot of calories, give you a lot of protein, and it's going to make it really versatile to fit into any healthy eating plan. Whether you're doing low carb, whether you're doing low fat, whatever you want to like kind of do to meet your nutrition goals, there's a way to do both the burgers and the pizza and the tacos. The tacos are probably the most versatile, just because we will oftentimes do taco salads. And that really is kind of the thing. If you're going to have a salad that you don't like, that's just lettuce and vinaigrette, and you don't enjoy it, you're not going to want to eat it for very long, and you're going to start getting food cravings. So what we tend to do is put the things we really enjoy about Mexican food into the salad. Like I'll do fresh cilantro and lots of veggies and lots of different kind of herbs and spices that are like cumin and coriander and things like that, so that it really tastes like a gourmet meal as opposed to feeling like I'm missing out on something.
Yeah, salads don't need to be those boring old salads with just green lettuce and throwing oil and vinegar on it. They don't need to be like that at all. They can be hearty, delicious, and enjoyable. And if you want to get that little texture, there are also these little taco strips that you can buy that you can sprinkle onto your salads. I know I tend to throw a few too many on, but that's okay. Moving on, we have a seafood Alfredo or Rose Primavera. Now, this is definitely one that, so I'll let Tara explain this, of the difference of how we do it in our household, and we don't classify it as replacing. So.
Yeah, and we're talking about this in terms of like authentic, really authentic any type of food, whether it's New York bagels that made it on the list a couple times or real traditional Italian pasta. You know, sometimes there's just not a substitute for things. And so you want to use those on rare occasion, have a smaller portion. And then if you want kind of a weeknight pasta as part of your like repertoire for your week, then there's lots of different ways to do that in a way that's more consistent with your healthy eating plan and can kind of fill in a little bit for the pasta on a regular basis. So we'll do, depending on kind of what we have calories for, depending on what the goal is at the time. You can use zero noodles to if you're shirataki noodles. There's all sorts of different really low calorie, low carb noodle substitutes. They tend to be a little gummier, so they work better in certain recipes than others, but they're low carb.
And for me, someone who's trying to build muscle, I prefer the Bonza noodles, and they are very high in protein and they fill me up a lot. And yeah, those are some great options. You can find healthier options for the sauces. So what I would personally do if you're worried about it is I would cook the noodles separately, the protein separately, and then separate them into your individual containers. And then when you're going for that meal is to actually measure out the serving size of said sauce, put it onto your meal. This way you know exactly how much you're getting of everything and you can track your meals a lot better. Another one we have, well, Lisa, you said bacon mac and cheese, and we're not even going to attempt to attack that one. Good luck with your bacon mac. And yeah, so that kind of sums up those ones. We want to thank you for listening. We want you, if you like this video, please like it. Leave a comment below. Say that you watched it later. Say what you liked about it. Invite anyone you may know to this inclusive community, where tomorrow we're going to jump on and talk about New Year's resolutions. So please make sure you don't miss out on that. We've got great information so that you actually will stick to your resolution this year and it not just last maybe even just one day. But we hope you have a great rest of your Monday. As always, go be great, no excuses, and we will see you tomorrow.